recorded, so I hope you do well in your speeches.
Oh my God, that don't sound good.
Okay, we're live. You ready? Okay. Now I'll call the meeting of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners to order. Please rise for a moment of silence, prayer, and pledge of allegiance.
Father, thank you for each body, mind, and heart of those participating in this meeting, as well as the lives that we will encounter afterwards. Bless this land you've given me, and may I always know, as I tend to each crop and critter, you're the one that makes them grow. Grant me the strength and wisdom. Please protect me from all harm, and thank you, Lord, for your gracious gift, the blessing of a farm. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
These proceedings are being recorded for the sole purpose of constituting the accuracy of written minutes. Tapes are reused, eliminating recorded records of these proceedings.
Motion approved.
Approval of the
I will
minutes.
second what
He
he's
will
getting ready
second
to make the motion on, right?
I'm gonna
So
get going.
we're approving the minutes of the meeting held March 10th, 2022. Motion by Mr. Arner, seconded by Mr. Lukasevich. Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr.
I
Notstein?
abstained since I was not at the meeting last week. Okay, are there any guests concerning county business at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on.
The next item is a proclamation for adoption, number 2022-007, 4-H week, March 14th through the 18th.
Motion to adopt proclamation 2022-007.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes, and it's always a pleasure to have our 4-H people with us here, and always an honor to recognize the 4-H group and everything you do. So, 4-H week, March 14th through the 18th of 2022, whereas the youth of Carbon County is one of the county's most valuable resources, and whereas 4-H members contribute to environmental improvement, community service, food production, and participate in programs that aid in youth development, health, nutrition, home improvement, and family relationships. And whereas a result of international cooperation with many communities, 4-H is also contributing to the world understanding. And whereas in the process, 4-H youth apply leadership skills, acquire a positive self-concept, and learn to respect and get along with other people. Whereas throughout the state of Pennsylvania, this week of March 14th through March 18th has been proclaimed 4-H week in Pennsylvania. Now therefore, the Carbon County Board of Commissioners proclaim this week of March 14th through 18th, 2022 as 4-H week in Carbon County, and urge all citizens to give recognition to the people involved in 4-H program. Given under this hand and seal of Carbon County this 17th day of March 2022 by the Carbon County Board of Commissioners, Wayne Notstein, Chairman, Rocky C.R. Arner, Vice Chairman, Chris L. Lukasevich, Member, attested by Eloise Arner, County Administrator. At this time, I'm going to step off and do something we never did before. I'm going to ask the girls to rise and give us the 4-H pledge, if you will.
I pledge my head to clear thinking, my heart to greater loyalty, my hands to larger service, and my health to better living, for my club, my community, my country, and my world.
Thank you, ladies. Very nice. Gentlemen. Very nice. At this time, let me present this to the whole group. And do you want to do the photo right away? We'll come up front, stand in front, and we'll present, and then we'll talk a little bit.
I'll take
Who's gonna be the
If you want me
leader
to
of the
take them,
week?
I
You're gonna be, okay. Well, you guys just have to stay here. Look here, you get in here. Okay. You know, it's always an honor to, you know, reach out and, you know, honor our youth, our future, the leaders that help guide them to becoming, better people. So, on behalf of the Carbon County Board of Commissioners, I'm gonna present this to all of you. Yeah.
Hold on.
Getting a lump already.
Everybody smile.
Okay, while you're up here, let's, start off, we'll start with you, your name, what club you're in, et cetera, how many years in 4-H?
I am Heidi Davis. I'm the club president of the Mahoney Valley Community Club. I've been in 4-H for about 8 years. I've been in it since I was 8, so. I am in rabbits and cavies, gardening, geocaching, leadership.
I'm Amanda Gallen. I'm the vice president of the Mahoney Valley Club. I'm also in the livestock club. I do rabbits, market lamb, and chickens. In the Mahoney Valley Club, I do geocaching, photography, cooking, and bee club.
I'm Ava Arrow. I am in the Carbon County 4-H Livestock Club, and I have been in it for 7 years. And I do market lambs. I've done swine before, poultry, and I'm currently doing a dairy beef and market lambs.
My name is Grace Arrow. I'm in the Carbon County 4-H Livestock Club, and I raise sheep and goats.
And I'm Kayla Fulson, and I'm the 4-H educator for Carbon County.
New to the program.
Yeah, right.
On board, how many weeks ago?
This is my 3rd week.
Yes, so welcome aboard. Other leaders, Steve, Elisa, you wanted to introduce your title now?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Steve Alessi, Client Relations Manager for Penn State Extension, and a 4-H volunteer as well, so.
Please. Go ahead, please.
Carolyn Gallen, parent, volunteer, helper.
Beth Arrow, parent, volunteer helper.
It is extremely important to note that about the leadership and the family involvement in all these projects and everything. And the support they give these kids and going to these programs. This young lady here last year drove a hard bargain. I think I bought a chicken off of her for, you know, we won't go into the price. Drove a hard bargain. She was gonna give them to me for my grandson. We're coming back this year looking for animals. Don't tell my son-in-law, him and I are going along. I don't know if we're gonna get a sheep this year or a goat or what we're gonna buy. Maybe what do you have? Okay, well, never know what we're gonna go home with. Put it in the back seat and take it home, but I know I bought Miss Stages here, rabbits. I don't know if I ever got to buy anything from you yet, but the 4-H program, especially in the livestock club, let me explain that, you know, it's what they do, the kids bring their animals in, they're judged in that, and what you can do, they go out to bid. And let's say, what did the grand champion get last year, $5,000 or something like that for the steer? Was it?
Yeah, it was over $9,000.
$9,000, that's an expensive hamburger. It's like, to make it simple, let's say that steer weighed 2,000 pounds, they pay $10,000 for it, and the market value, just to make it easy, let's say it's $1 a pound. Okay, so that goes to the market, you sell it back to the market for $2,000, and the balance of $8,000 goes back to these kids. So my wife isn't very happy with me when I buy chickens for $60 at dinner. 2 chickens worth about $8. But to me, it is worth every penny of it. And I strongly encourage you, when we had the fair last Saturday and the fair in August, please come out and support these kids. They're not the kids out there in the streets causing problems and everything. So support them, our newcomers. And I've watched a lot of these kids grow over the years. from the time they started and the time I've been doing this, what, over 22, 23 years now, I think, that, and just watch the kids grow and see them out in the street years later. It's really an honor. Well, thank you, ladies. Any comments?
I don't
Questions?
think a steer will fit in your country.
I need a walk.
We'll make it fit.
I'd just make one comment. I think the fact that we have the educator now on board, we're gonna see the lessening of restrictions from COVID. Carbon County Fair coming up the second week in August, if I recall correctly. So I think we're gonna see a resurgence of activity and interest in 4-H in this coming summer.
Okay, and there's many other clubs. I don't know if somebody wants to mention all the different clubs that they have.
Potato Judging Club, and there's a Cloverbud Club, and hopefully many more new clubs to come in the future.
There's a lot that we don't quite have sign-ups for yet, so there will be many more sewing and
Arts
many,
and crafts,
many more.
more projects, yeah.
And the kids already have their animals that they're gonna sell this summer. They have to get them so many weeks in advance, or getting them soon, I guess. Somewhere around this time, they gotta weigh so much and everything and keep records. So that's the important part. They keep records, they learn how to take care of animals and learn responsibility. Nice seeing you guys again. Come again next year.
No, thank you. Glad to have you.
Don't step down yet, sorry. We have some gifts for our commissioners.
Okay, everyone present.
Present mug, and also our chief clerk. So you
Where's the coffee?
Very much. 4-H would not exist without the support of our commissioners.
Thank you
we
so much.
appreciate it.
I'll go put some.
I know, that's all the size you'll need.
Good job, girls, good job. Good job. Yeah, we can stay for a little bit.
Thank you. Always time and work well spent at our meetings. Okay, ready to move on?
Okay. The next item is the report of executive sessions held.
There was one executive session held on Wednesday, March 16th, 2022 at 1 p.m. for real estate.
Department reports. The budget transfers, years 2021 and 2022.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
There are no supplemental appropriations. Expenditures, approval of payroll check numbers 74204 through 74219, and direct deposit check numbers 6039841 through 6040270 for the payroll paid through the payroll fund checking account for all county funds totaling $620,318.68. This is the payroll dated March 11th, 2022.
Motion to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Approval of check numbers 227161 through 227374 for expenditures to the general fund clearing account totaling $498,450.62.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The treasurer's report?
Move to accept.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The personnel report for county departments?
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The acknowledgements for courts and row office holders?
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Correspondence was received as listed. Copies will be made available to the press upon request. Adult probation. For approval and execution, the fiscal year 2021-2022 renewal of the State Offender Supervision Fee 1-year agreement, which commences July 1, 2021 and ends June 30th, 2022. The Pennsylvania Board of Probation and Parole will return to the county the offender supervision fees received by the Department of Revenue from the county for the period of May 1 through 2021 through April 30th, 2022.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Advertising for approval. Authorize the advertisement of the request for proposals for auditing services for the years 2021 and 2022 with options for the years 2023 and 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
CCT Lanta for approval and execution, the allocation letter from the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services for the 2020-2021 MATP program, listing the final allocation amount of $423,932.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Children and Youth for approval and execution, the fiscal year 2021-2022 purchase of service agreement with Marquee, Pennsylvania, of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, as per the attached rates.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Emergency Management for approval and execution, the 2021 Annual Hazardous Materials Emergency Response Program Report for submission to the Pennsylvania Emergency Management Agency.
Motion to approve and execute.
I'll second on discussion. The first time we saw the document was about 2 weeks or so.
Oh, no, this isn't the same.
This not the same
Yeah,
document?
this is-
Report.
Oh, okay, all right.
Hold off till next week.
It is, okay. All right, table.
Okay, so, Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Public Defender for approval, an award of funding in the amount of $108,464 from the Pennsylvania Commission on Crime and Delinquency for mental health initiative, crisis management, and pretrial diversion. The funds will be used to support a salary for a part-time social worker, case manager, and for a psychologist to perform evaluations on those in the county's justice system who suffer from mental health issues. The project period is January 1, 2022 to December 31, 2022. The application was initially approved on September 23, 2021.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
The Solicitor's Report?
Thank you. Children and Youth, second extension fiscal consultant contract for approval and execution. The second extension to the consulting agreement with Kelly Noble of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, to provide fiscal services to the Children and Youth Services Department, extending the agreement to June 30, 2022. All of the terms of the agreement remain in full force and effect.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
LP Gas and Propane for approval and execution, an addendum to the agreement dated February 24, 2022 with Button Oil and Propane of Mountaintop to add the Carbon County Maintenance Storage Facility to the current list of locations using an on-call fill schedule.
Move to approve.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Parks and Recreation for approval and execution, a special activities agreement submitted for Carbon Adventure Racing, Keystone Backyard Ultra LLC of Palmerton for Ultra Marathon Trail Running, May 21 through the 23rd, 2022, pending receipt of certificate of insurance.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
For approval and execution, special activities agreement submitted for Kijong exercise class on the beach for dates as listed in June, July, and August of 2022.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
For approval and execution, special activities agreement submitted for the Lenape Nation Native American Festival, Mok Chunk Powwow, September 10th and 11th, 2022, pending receipt of valid insurance certificate.
Move to approve and execute.
Second.
Mr. Arner?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich? Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau for approval and execution. The lease agreement between the County of Carbon and Pocono Mountain Visitors Bureau of Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania, for the lease of office area in the train station to be used for tourist promotion, travel information, tourist information, and related services, which includes the use of public restrooms and one parking place. The lease will commence January 1, 2022 and expire December 31, 2024. The annual rent for the term beginning January 1, 2022, ending December 31, 2022, shall be $26,699.28, payable in 12 equal monthly installments. Annually, the rental amount will be adjusted by a cost of living increase equal to the average increase in the Consumer Price Index for the previous 12-month period as published by U.S. Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics.
Motion to approve and execute.
Second?
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Tax assessment for approval and payment. A communication received from Tax Assessment Bureau verifying the following taxpayer is due a refund of Carbon County real estate taxes. Property in Mahoning Township, Lehighton School District, property of Penn Core Services. Taxpayer is due a refund for county taxes 2019, 2020, 2021 due to court appeal. Total refund due is $5,261.62.
Move to approve it, the payment.
Make payment.
Yep.
Second.
Mr. Honor?
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich?
Yes.
Mr. Notstein?
Yes.
Nothing further.
Any further business?
Yes, under further business, I want to announce the cancellation of the Railroad Commission meeting next week scheduled for 3/22/22. Here in the office, we'll just be returning from a commissioners conference that weekend, so we are canceling the meeting on Tuesday, okay? That's all I have under further business.
Okay, Commissioners' reports, Mr. Honor?
I do have a couple things here. We have some donations again for the dog shelter, and we received $100 from the Penn Core employees, and we also received $320 from the Lehighton Elementary Middle School, and the Weatherly students made heavy-duty soft blankets for our puppies to lay on. So thank you to everybody for the donations this week. And I don't know if Wayne was gonna get anything in on the elections, but I just wanted to report what we're doing or what our staff is doing right now. Currently, they processed 1,351 applications. They have approximately 1,500 there that have to be processed. The application deadline is May 10th to do so, and the registration for yourself for people to register May 2nd is the deadline for that. So I mean, I don't know if there's really no update on the.
You know, all the offices
Yeah.
are, everyone that filed petition, I guess statewide it was like 58 congressmen
Yeah.
filed petitions, I think, I don't know how many for senator and et cetera, so, yeah, it's gonna be a crowded field as far as the local races, there are just many people in it, so nothing really major, and we don't have that since, Tuesday was the deadline, and they're still compiling a lot of the information, so. Continue to be busy, there's still court cases and hearings that everything is subject to change, like we've been talking about for weeks, everything's tied up in court, a lot of it's still tied up, not everything anymore, but, some things have been settled, but there are, hearings continue, and I think the date was April 7th, the last one, date to appeal for these hearings and everything, so, yeah, it's still a mess, to say the least.
Just hope it isn't like last year, like we had things done, and then after things were either printed or whatever, then they changed. And then we have to do things all over, and that's a costing expense to the counties, I mean,
Election day, things are changing, so.
yeah. So, we're looking for like June to get here. And it'll all be over, hopefully. That's it.
Okay, Commissioner Lukasevich?
Yeah, first and foremost, congratulations to the Lady Olympians on their victory last night over Dunmar. I'm not a big sports watcher on television, but talk about 3 minutes of great basketball taking place, just incredible. All right, it's exciting to watch them turn it around there and win right there in the last 2.7 seconds, right, when that. Want to make mention the broadband survey. Tomorrow is the last day to complete that. Contrary to this article that says broadband survey info not correct, there is nothing incorrect, unnecessary, inappropriate, false, misleading, accusatory in this survey. So I encourage users of internet and broadband in Carbon County to complete the survey and make a difference. And what's the so what? Well, the Center for Rural Pennsylvania, which is a bicameral entity, recently published results of a survey based upon download speeds. Specific to Carbon County, 23% of Carbon County users are unserved. That means they don't have a download speed or access to a download speed of 25, upload speed of 3. 67% of Carbon County is underserved. They don't have access to a download speed of 100, upload to 20 megabytes per second. And why are those numbers important? Because of law. Act 96, right? Our governor signed it in December. Representatives Heffley, Knowles, Senator Udechak voted yes. It set the standard for broadband connectivity in Carbon County. This survey is going to help determine where we could potentially put our time, money, and effort. There's currently $100 million that has become available from the federal government, with an additional $400 million expected over the coming years. We have about 7 or 8 different providers in Carbon County, to include Atlantic Windstream, Blue Ridge Cable, AT&T, Verizon, SpaceX, Frontier recently won 904 auctions for space. No one is synchronizing or coordinating their efforts. The one thing we don't want to do is overbuild in Carbon County, right? Duplication of areas that are already well served. But we have to clearly identify where those and unserved locations are. The FCC reporting does not provide sufficient data, geodata, to indicate with specificity those areas. The only way we in Carbon are going to get that data to ensure whatever plan might be presented or options to Carbon County are accurate and reflective of the real environment, broadband environment in which we operate, is by completing this survey. We have right now about a response rate of about 10%, which is 2 to 3 times which one would expect in a direct mail-in. So I want to thank those nearly 2,000 Carbon County residents and businesses that have already responded to the survey. I also want to mention that the broadband isn't simply about getting it to residents, but there's a term they're using in the act called community anchor institutions, right? Those entities, organizations, buildings where people congregate, senior centers, libraries, schools, right? Those are critical areas with minimal investment in fiber optics. We could increase the ability of Carbon County residents to telework, telemedicine, and teleeducate. All things that have to be looked at. But again, without the citizens and business owners' input, it'll just make it that much more difficult to have an accurate assessment. And that's all I have.
First thing, yes, one thing I want to report, our rooster is doing great. Nursing 8 hens, I might add. Production's a little slow right now, I'm waiting for delivery of my latest dozen. But, hey, thanks again for our leadership and helping these youth. I appreciate that. That's all I have for today. Okay. Meeting adjourned. Now, retirement board should be pretty quick. If anyone would like to bail now. Oops. No, it should be a quick one. We don't have reports or anything. So, this time I'll call the monthly meeting of the retirement board to order. I'll turn the meeting over to Acting Secretary Kevin Binder, First Deputy Controller. Okay.
Top of the morning. Start by approving the minutes of the previous meeting held February 17th, 2022.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Malenka,
Yes.
Mr. Bender abstained, Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich,
Yes.
Mr. Nostine.
Yes.
Are there any guests concerning retirement board meeting business? Hearing none. Report of executive session, there were none. Ratify the warrant, checks number 40778 to 40792. Direct deposit 7015904 to 7016308.
Move to ratify.
Second.
Mr. Zelenka,
Yes.
Mr. Binder abstained, Mr. Arner,
Yes.
Mr. Lukasevich.
Yes.
Mr. Nostine.
Yes.
Ratify the activity report. There were 8 retirement refunds, which is a lot. There were 3 superannuation retirements, including Frank Rosino with 40 years of service. I always say he's one of the hardest working county workers ever. Deceased, there were 3, including Commissioner Getz, who we mentioned last month. And he will truly be missed, and he's probably looking down on our Lady Olympians because he was an avid basketball fan. The disbursements for February were $477,724.70. Refunds were $18,296.05. Total disbursement of $496,020.75. The portfolio value as of February 28th, this is probably why Mark sent me, is $91,415,092. And as of March 11th, was $88,463,245. Any questions? Correspondence, there were none. Solicitors report?
Nothing additional.
Investment managers, they're probably in hiding. New business, old business, further business. And that's that. That's all I have.
Okay. Meeting adjourned. The short one. Okay. Do any of our guests have any questions before we start with the news media? No? You sure?
The rooster's not being mean to you, right?
What's that?
The rooster's not being mean to you, right? He's
Right.
nice.
Kelly, you're good? Amy, you're good, wow.
Wow. Let's talk about, how great is it to bring, last week you brought in Girl Scouts, this week you're bringing 4-H. I mean, how great is it to bring in these groups and to kind of award them, spotlight them?
Unfortunately, I think the programs, between the Girl Scouts, unfortunately, I couldn't be here last week. The Boy Scouts, the 4-H, and a couple other youth groups in particular. I can't think of any offhand, but I'm sure there are many out there. And the numbers in these programs have been dwindling over the years. I know from my day in the Boy Scouts, there were 3 troops in Lehighton alone. I think there was one in Weissport, one in Franklin. Now they're down to 1 and they're struggling. The lifestyles have changed of families over the years. There's so many things going on, such as sports, educational things. Unfortunately, a lot of our kids who are sitting around with their tablets and iPods and everything else are on the computer, and they're not getting out there and getting the exercise, and unfortunately with the COVID over the years, they're not getting that interaction. They're not working to gain their leadership skills, I would say, and being able to develop interactivity with other people and learn responsibilities such as bookkeeping, taking care of their animals, and showing them is the greatest part of that show. When you have that little girl back there coming out there maybe with one of her animals, or you see a kid her size coming into the arena, I should say pulling a steer, and they are leading that steer into the arena. The hogs, that's a different story. They're a little harder to control, but yeah, it's just a shame that well, our youth are not getting involved in any of those programs like the youth were before, and it's life experiences that they gain, the knowledge they gain, and the education, and I still use my knot tying and other things, you know, that I've learned in scouting over the years, and I'm sure that these kids will learn a lot more, and hopefully a lot of them will continue in the agricultural end of it, like Rocky mentioned here today in his prayers, because we've got to put food on the table somehow. And it's kids like this that get involved in that, in agriculture and delivering those things, because especially with the way the world is today and how many people are starving because of the war right now, that we're Ukraine and Russia there, and the millions of people that have fled to Poland and other areas, and just the people, their homes destroyed, no food, no water. So it's important for these people to preserve land and become active farmers and develop new and better ways of producing food for us on the table. I think our public takes advantage of, they just assume, hey, it's gonna be on the table every day, but that farmland is disappearing pretty fast around here, and that's one of our goals that we, let's talk about that for a second. Probably should have done it under a meeting, was the open space and looking at the agriculture, farmland preservation, and possibility of doing a bond or putting it on the agenda for the election, or the public to vote whether they were willing to float a bond just to preserve farms, forest land, et cetera, here in Carbon County. Because what's nice about Carbon County, we don't have a lot of industry, but look at all the lakes and forests and everything else we have in Carbon County. It's a beautiful place. That's what draws people here. Did I answer your question? Sure. I got carried
So
away.
how do you really feel about it, Wayne?
Okay. Anything else?
I'm good, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Welcome, come back again soon. If not before, I'll see you in August. Okay, thank you.